Hello everyone, if you don't know me, my name, I didn't put serum on. All right, serum acquired. Now, back to what this video is about. Hello everybody, if you don't know me, my name is Sarah Danielle, and if you do know me, then welcome back to my channel. I have so many things to talk about. This video is going to be a little bit of a sneak peek into my new second channel. Listen, you guys, you're probably like, Sarah, what are you doing starting a second channel? Like, please don't stop posting on this one. Don't you worry your pretty little heads. I'm not going to stop posting on this channel. This channel is my baby. This channel is literally like all of my dreams come true. It is a fashion-based YouTube channel. I have been obsessed with fashion and YouTube since I was a child. Granted, I initially wanted to be a Minecraft streamer since I was like, I don't know, since I knew what Minecraft was and since I knew what YouTube was, but instead, I ended up combining my two passions, YouTube and fashion. Now listen, that's what this channel is still going to be about. It's still going to be about vlogging, it's still going to be about lifestyle, a little bit about wellness, but mostly about kind of lifestyle. And I'm going to say this is going to be my creative outlet. So it's going to be my outlet for fashion topics. It's going to be my outlet for interior design, for just being creative, for maybe painting, but mostly about like fashion and kind of like cool stuff. And I don't want to say that and be like, oh my god, I'm so cool, but I mean like spending vlogs in Vancouver where I'm exploring the city and going into really unique furniture stores and vintage stores and meeting really cool people and maybe going out to some parties, like stuff like that, but also fashion. Be a little bit more of my putting in effort into the video style type channel. And my second channel, which is called No Credentials Whatsoever because I don't have any credentials, I'm going to be talking about obviously anything I want to talk about. It's going to be kind of like a nothing's off the table type podcast. I want to be talking about relationship advice probably for my first video, just because that has been my most requested video topic. I have a video on TikTok that just went a little bit viral. It's got like 100,000 likes or something like that. And it's basically a relationship advice video, but with one specific type of advice. However, I want to make a full video on it because I feel very passionately about a lot of my opinions on relationships. So I'm going to be doing that. But I also want to talk about positivity, creativity, getting more into my spiritual self. I felt very inspired this morning because I was listening to Fernando Ramirez's new podcast, which I'm pretty sure is just about, instead of having a hot girl summer, having a like life summer. I don't remember how she worded it, but basically it's about being present and being intentional and being aware of your surroundings and being super selective of the positivity you allow and being super selective of the people you allow into your life and only allowing positivity to flow through you and all of these things. And I really want to re-submerge myself into my spiritualness. I actually got this journal. I went to the bookstore specifically looking for a journal that I felt resonated with who I feel like I am spiritually. And this is the journal that I picked out. It's not my usual vibe, but I really, really like it. It's got this like moth, I want to say, on the front. Super, super pretty. I love it. I've already filled out like 14 pages. And if you're like, girl, that's not that much, for me, it is. Now, I'm obviously not going to show you exactly what I've been writing about because it's obviously very personal, but when I say 14 pages, I mean like I've been journaling front to back pages, and I've never really done that before. Whenever I journal, it's usually like from here to like here, but I've been journaling full 2 pages, which I'm very proud of myself for. And another thing I did that was different in this journal is the start of it, I wrote, whenever I open this journal, I am present in my mind, body, and soul. I am grounded. I will write my entries with intention. My dreams will manifest into reality. My worries will be left on the page, freeing my mind from anxiety. The urge to check my phone will melt away. I will feel a strong sense of relief as if a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. My hand will not cramp because, girl, I'm not used to writing in paper anymore. I will take self-reflection seriously. I will learn. I will be 100% honest, and I will share my beautiful vulnerability. So I did that because in the past I have written in my journals, everything I write in this journal will manifest into reality and things like that. But that kind of restricted me from writing any soul explorational thoughts and trying to kind of navigate negative emotions or chat about my worries with myself, because I was like, hey, well, if I wrote in the start of this journal that the intention is everything will manifest into reality, I don't want to talk about my negative thoughts or my anxiety. So I wrote in the start of this journal, everything I manifest will like come to fruition or whatever, but also I will be 100% honest, and I will explore and I will explore 100% of my beautiful vulnerability or whatever. So basically, talking about my vulnerability in the true sense, which is that it is beautiful and it is fine and it's okay to explore that, instead of making myself feel like manifestation and affirmations are the only ways to journal. Anyway, that being said, I'm drinking coffee. I never ever drink coffee, okay? I literally don't drink coffee. I'm like an avid water and matcha girl exclusively because I know coffee can dehydrate you. I also have ADHD, and I know that for ADHD, coffee technically makes you sleepy. For me, what coffee does is it gives me a really intense anxiety rush, which it's like, why am I drinking coffee if this is how I feel? But anyway, I drink matcha every single morning, and I basically just wanted a bit of variety in my caffeine in the morning. So I'm having a coffee. I bought myself a few yerba mates because I love them. And then I also have my matcha so that I can just drink kind of whatever I feel like drinking on that day. This is actually really good. I also don't want to get addicted to coffee, so I'm planning on having it max once every like 4 days, something like that. Anyway, I am feeling very, very good today. While I was listening to Fernanda's podcast, she was chatting a lot about Addison Rae. I talked about Addison Rae minorly in my video about like a week of outfits, and I basically was talking about how her body is not that I want to be one of those girls that like dives into other people's bodies. I feel like it's really gross when people always say like, this is a real body, by the way, or like, this is what body positivity should be, a woman just existing, like all these things. And it really bothers me when people do that because it's like, well, her just existing isn't body positivity. Like, and people bringing that to the creator's attention is literally just them pointing out, you don't look like a Victoria's Secret supermodel, so I am going to say that like you are being body positive. And she's like, okay, well, I thought I just had a normal body and I was just existing, but now apparently like I have a weird looking body that's like whatever. Anyway, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But basically what I was going to say is Addison Rae has like literally such a nice body. She's beautiful. Her body is the least interesting thing about her. But still, Addison and I have a very similar body, and I just feel like we're growing as a society, and I feel like people are caring a little bit more about faces than bodies, which is annoying that they're still caring about one of the things that women still can't control and putting those pressure on us instead. But like the pressure to have one exact body type is kind of melting away slowly, and it's making me very, very happy. But another thing I want to say about this, I listened to Addison Rae's album because Fernanda Ramirez said that her album is not male-centered, and Fernanda said she's like focusing on not having a male-centered summer, just how she feels hot girl summer is often practiced, and honestly, she's right. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna listen to Addison Rae's album because every time I listen to an album, like I love love. I'm a big rom-com girl. I love romance novels. I have like 10 of them, but I don't know, I don't want to be as male-centered. I'm not very male-centered simply because I have a boyfriend, so I don't really need to be male-centered. However, as a woman, you probably know, like, or if you are a woman, I have a lot of male subscribers, so the chances are you might not be. But as a woman, I feel like I have this feeling that there's always a man watching no matter what, and it forces me to, or not forces me, but it kind of makes it difficult for me to live life in a way where I feel womanly and confident in the way that I feel like a woman. So I have been trying to not be as male-centered, and I was listening to Addison's podcast while I was walking home from the gym and while I was just in the shower, and it literally had such like positive energy radiating from it, and I loved it. The song, I don't know what it's called. It's probably called New York, to be honest, or Big Apple or something like that. Let me check actually. Okay, it's called New York. Literally, it like made me just feel so like cool. I felt really good while I was listening to it. And that brings me to my next point. I have been listening to a lot of like affirmations and stuff like that, and I also will say the media you consume like really does affect your mind. Now, I have seen people make videos on TikTok about this before, and their thoughts get misconstrued and like misunderstood a lot by viewers. So when I say this, I want you to take it with the words that I'm saying it as and not kind of dissect it and take your own assumptions on it as reality. But the media you consume does have a big effect on how you feel about yourself and how you go through life. If you are somebody who, and now I'm not gonna say depression is anything like that is your fault, because depression is not your fault, okay? Depression is literally like a mental thing. It's, I will say I don't exactly know like how depression gets diagnosed and stuff like that, and I don't necessarily know all the words to describe the effect it has on your mind, and I have never personally gone through a dark enough depression period where I feel confident in speaking that well on people who experience depression. But I will say there are some people who might feel depressed and or might have a lot of anxiety and stuff like that, but they don't really realize how the media they're consuming can be amplifying and worsening the sadness and darkness that they're feeling, or numbness. If you are listening to a lot of music that is sort of like Pierce the Veil vibes, or, because I've been there, y'all, like Pierce the Veil vibes or like All Time Low and stuff like that, like, yeah, they don't, like All Time Low has some gas songs, and I will say I do really like them, but there is gonna be some songs by artists that have heavier metal music and like darker music that is giving you negative affirmations as you're listening to it. And there's a lot of rap music and stuff too that has a lot of negative affirmations or like negative manifestations that you are singing to, and your brain can't differentiate the words that you're saying with the words that you mean, if that makes any sense. So for instance, if you joke about something enough, eventually it could become true. If I'm constantly joking that I'm like ugly, which I'm not, but like if I'm constantly joking that I am, eventually I'm going to convince my brain that I am. So if you're constantly watching media that is saddening, that is depressing, that is making you cry, that is making you rap about like guns and like violence and like, you know, hating yourself and being in these horrible dark periods, it's not going to help you get through them. And for some people they might say like, oh, these artists that had these dark songs made them feel less alone, which is totally fair. But I'm just saying, like, in a lot of cases, listening to songs like that can be very hard on you. And I tend to only watch movies that are like lighthearted. I'm not a big like heavy movie girl, but it's not because I don't like sad movies. It's because when I watch sad movies, it like hurts me. When I watched Perks of Being a Wallflower for the first time, which was like less than a year ago, by the way, I cried so hard that I was sitting by the toilet because I thought I was going to throw up. Like, I feel things too strongly to be able to consume sad content and to not be like greatly affected by it. I started listening to playlists on Spotify, which I love Spotify. Like, the fact that I can just type in a vibe and it'll give it to me is so nice. But I have been listening to songs on Spotify that have positive affirmations, and I found a bunch of playlists that are like songs with positive affirmations, and they're just basically, like I just said a million times, songs with positive affirmations. Now I want to make my own playlist for it because there's a lot of Addison Rae songs I feel like I can add to it, and I just don't really love a lot of the songs they're picking, like music wise. I'm trying to consume media that is positively affirming me, because when I'm making jokes that are like, you know, bad about myself or saying things that are bad about myself or anything like that, I start to believe them. I start to convince myself that maybe I'm not funny, maybe I'm not pretty, maybe I'm not like thin, like all these things, which, knock on wood, okay? But I also noticed that like 2 years ago, I was all into positive affirmations and I was doing that, like practicing that so well. But a few weeks ago, I went to a like river lake situation with my boyfriend, his best friend PJ, who I'm telling the story about, so I will say his name. Hi PJ King, if you're watching this, you're probably not. But and then my boyfriend's sister and a few of her friends. We all were just having so much fun. I brought my paddleboard and everyone was kind of like sitting on the beach, but I was still out in the water, and PJ was paddling my paddleboard and I was kind of like hanging on to the paddleboard. And I said something like calling myself a beached whale or something like that. And if you guys don't know, I've struggled with body image in the past, and calling myself a beached whale is like not gonna help that. But I didn't mean it in like a calling myself a beached whale. Like, I didn't mean to call myself a whale. I was trying to call myself a beached whale because I was hanging onto the paddleboard in a really funny way, and I felt like I looked like a beached sea creature. And no one says like beached slim thick dolphin, you know what I mean? Like, people always say like beached whale. So I said like, oh my god, I'm literally a beached whale right now. And then PJ goes, what? Don't say that about yourself. And then I was like, you know what? You're right. I said in the moment like, oh, that's not how I meant it. Like, I wasn't trying to call myself a whale. But low-key, I never would have said that 2 years ago. I wouldn't have even made that joke, because I know subconsciously, because I have struggled with body image in the past, that is a really negative affirmation for me to say out loud, joking or not. And I thought about that for a while, and that actually, like, him telling me not to say that made me realize how much I shouldn't be saying that about myself. Like, even though I didn't mean to call myself a whale, and that wasn't like my intention, it did, I said it and I still didn't feel like that was a good joke. Like, that wasn't a funny thing to say. That was just like a sad thing to say. And I was like, damn, you know what? That's so true. So I laughed it off because, like I said, I didn't mean it in that way. But now that he corrected me, I was like, damn, that is so right. And I said some jokes that were sort of similar a few times later. I wasn't even feeling that self-conscious that day, but I was just making quite self-deprecating jokes the whole day. And every time I would, PJ would kind of be like, oh, don't say that. And like all those things. And I was like, this is like, you're so right. Like, why am I even saying that about myself? So I came to a full stop about that realization today and was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done making self-deprecating jokes. I'm done even talking about myself as if I'm like unattractive, because especially in the media right now, there are so many men like putting down women who are slightly above not super thin. And I have a lot of really thin friends. Pretty much all of my friends are thinner than me and shorter than me and blonde. So literally they are all beautiful and I love my friends, and you will never ever catch me putting my friends down to make myself feel better, because that would not make me feel better. My friends are beautiful and I love them. But for a while, like I'm like 20 pounds heavier than I was 2 years ago when I made all these friends. And for some reason, I like was making so many jokes about myself. And if I'm going to the club with them, in my head, I'd be thinking, yeah, well, they get hit on lots. And I'd be like ignoring the fact that I was getting hit on, because I do have a boyfriend. So I don't like reap the rewards of getting hit on, if that makes sense. Like, I would never make out with anyone in the club. I'd never like give anyone my number, none of that. So when somebody hits on me, I just go like no and move along. So I would feel like my friends are getting hit on so much more than I was, even though we were getting hit on like the exact same amount. The conversations were just way shorter for me because I'm rejecting people. I would forget that I was still getting hit on, and I'd be like, damn, like, am I the fridge? And that is something I hate that people are saying, by the way. I hate that people are saying like, oh, the fridge that hides the snacks, like all that stuff. I see videos of groups of like genuinely beautiful and gorgeous women, and it's like, it's always the fridge protecting the snacks, which if you don't know what that means, first of all, fantastic. But basically the fridge is like the quote unquote ugly girl, which no such thing, and then the snacks are like the pretty girls, and basically the ugly girl will reject the man for the pretty girl, is how people are using that phrase, which is just like fucked. There will be so many videos of men with like hidden cameras in their glasses going up to super sloshed girls that are way younger than them, way more beautiful than them also, and then being like, hey, like I saw you from over there and I just like had to come say hi. And then she'll be like, oh, like hi, and then the friend will be like, no, we're good. Do you guys not realize that the friend saying no, you're good, she's not jealous of her friend. She's not jealous that her friend's getting hit on and she's not. She's not like trying to start something. She's not trying to make you mad. A lot of times nice girls will not reject you to your face, or maybe like one of the friends is more sober than the girl and she knows that the girl maybe said earlier she didn't want to like kiss a guy, she didn't want to give a guy her number, she didn't want to talk to men, their goal for the night maybe was to hang out as girlfriends. The girl has trouble rejecting people. So many times girls read their friends better than you, and if you are like, oh my god, it's always the fridge protecting the snack, maybe you're just a fucking creep, okay? And also, a girl being bigger than her friend doesn't make her a fridge. And this phrase is like actually so unbelievably like toxic, because it already has made me feel, because I'm slightly bigger than my friends, like I'm not as pretty as my friends. I feel like I am a pretty girl. I feel very good about myself and I feel pretty confident. But like the second I hear, oh, the fridge protecting the snacks, I'm like, am I the fridge just because I'm slightly bigger than my friends? And that's like stupid and also just incorrect. Like, that's insane. Beauty is not size, first of all. And also that phrase is just wild, because if that girl wanted you, she would have you. Like, you're making it so clear that you're so easy. Anyway, I'm getting like angry right now and I don't want to like go into this. Basically, the whole point of that was just me to say, I am done feeling self-conscious. I am done consuming content that makes me question whether or not I should feel pretty. I am beautiful. And you know what? You are too, okay? And I know that because people always say like, how can you say there's no one ugly? Like, I've seen so many ugly people. I truly believe that everyone is beautiful. I don't believe that a single person is a 0 out of 10, like ever. I don't believe in rating people either. I think that's fucking stupid. But everyone is beautiful in such different ways, and I feel like some people are just attracted to one specific genre of beauty, because there are definitely different genres of beauty. Me, for instance, I know my common descriptors are beautiful and pretty. My common descriptors are not hot or cute. I don't fall into those two categories as much, but I definitely fall into like beautiful and pretty. Like, those are my kind of descriptors. But a guy who's more into like hot and like sexy women. He might like a girl who gives a little bit more cat energy more. But then the second you don't align with whatever preference they have, they call you ugly. And so let me just say, you guys, if you are worried about men not finding you attractive, first of all, decenter that. But also just remember, like, everyone has different preferences, and it's okay for a guy not to find you attractive because he does not speak for the entirety of humanity. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but basically, if you are worried about feeling ugly or men not liking you, I just think that that is a sign you need to decenter men for sure. And I think that you need to start journaling and looking within. Looking within is like literally so underrated because a lot of times the negativity that you feel is because of the energy that you allow in. And if you are constantly hanging out with people who say like, don't make you feel confident, which I had a best friend for like 15 years who never let me be confident. If I was having like a really good body confident day, she would get mad at me because she didn't feel pretty. Or if I was having a really bad body confident day, she would get mad at me because she thought I was prettier than her and all these things. And she like didn't want me to talk about the gym with her or healthy eating or anything like that because she just genuinely didn't want to see me thrive. And I was friends with her for way too long, and the second I stopped being friends with her, my happiness grew exponentially because she was just such a negativity weighing me down. And if you have friends that you feel like are like that for you, but you're scared of breaking it off with them because it'll start drama, because it'll make them feel bad about themselves, because you're scared of confrontation, which by the way, the fear of confrontation widely stems from people pleasing. And if you're a people pleaser, I don't personally think I can be friends with you. Like, I understand confrontation being uncomfortable for you, but if you refuse to have any sort of confrontation, I don't think I can be friends with you, just because like I need people to be able to be open and honest and have conversations with me. Like, for instance, one of my friends literally told me like that one topic she finds very uncomfortable to talk about, and she had a little bit of fear about coming to me and telling me that, but literally I had no negative reactions to it because I would much rather you confront me and tell me that this topic is going to be off limits for me and that friend. And I'm like, dude, totally chill. There's a bajillion other things to talk about. But anyway, that's kind of like not to do with this, but you just need to be able to cut people off 100% and lose the fear of not having friends, because your fear of not having friends stems from your dislike of yourself. Because if you love yourself truly to your core, you will be way more fine being alone. And the best part about that is I have a boyfriend. We've been together for over 2.5 years. We love each other so much, but we will go like 2 weeks without seeing each other because we are both so okay being alone, and we both have all of our own shit that we need to do, and we both like have alone time without our friends, without each other, without our families. Like, we just have time to get our stuff done, and it's because we love ourselves and respect our own time enough to be able to put in focus and love to our own activities. And I'm so excited to talk about that in my first relationship podcast, which, by the way, if I didn't already say, my new podcast is going to be linked in the description. Now, I don't actually know how to upload podcasts to Spotify or anything like that, so as of right now, YouTube is going to be the sole platform where I post my podcasts. But if you guys know anything about that, please feel free to DM me. Anyway, I'm kind of down for a subject change, PBH, because I don't really remember what I was talking about because I'm like really tired all of a sudden. You guys, maybe I shouldn't be drinking coffee. The topic change is going to be rockstar girlfriend. You guys, I have been dressing very rockstar girlfriend 80s-esque, and I have been fucking loving it, and it's all because of my haircut. I cut my hair like maybe a month and a half ago now, and I cried for like the entire night and the next day, and it was really hard for me actually, because I don't like to experiment too much with my hair, but I felt like getting curtain bangs again, and my hair had been quite like long on the sides. My bangs went down to like here, so they weren't even like bangs anymore. Now I have like this like curtain bang galore again, and I do love it now. I love it now. However, in the moment I was struggling so fucking hard because I was in a very like soft era of the way that I dressed, and I was dressing very girly, and I really liked it. I liked feeling soft and I liked feeling feminine. Right now I feel a little bit more masculine and a little bit more cool girl with my hair, and because I just got this new tattoo like literally on Monday and I love it, but having more tattoos and like this hairstyle is making me feel a little bit less feminine. I don't exactly know for sure how I feel about that. I don't really know if I'm loving that fact that I don't really have the opportunity to feel too girly right now because of my hair, but My hair changes literally everything about how I feel, and I feel a lot of pressure to stick to one genre because I feel like everyone else does. But the issue is I am not a one genre girl. I am a very like, I dress in every single different way every single different day. Did I already put mascara on? I like don't even remember what step of my makeup I was on. I literally already started putting mascara on. What am I doing? Actually, I need to be like silent for like 5 minutes. You guys, I'm starting to think that buying this coffee today was a mistake because I literally was saying earlier, oh yeah, no, coffee like, you know, makes me jittery and then tired. No, I'm just tired. Like, holy fuck. And my throat kind of hurts. Like, what the hell? Like, maybe buying this coffee was a bad idea. There's also kids screaming. Like, shut up. No, this is negative. I was so positive and energized at the start of this video, but this coffee is hitting me like a fucking truck. I feel like I need to take a nap. My goodness. Yeah, maybe I won't drink coffee for a few days. I hate that I have to wear my hair up today. Like, it's so dirty and disgusting and greasy, but like I'm in the mood to wear it down, but I didn't wash my hair today and I don't have time before work. I have to leave for work in like an hour. I mean, like the most I can do is maybe like wash and blow dry my bangs and like have a fun updo but with my bangs out, but I really just feel like wearing my hair fully down and like wearing all my cool silver rings and stuff like that today, but I just can't. Trying something different today. I put like pinkish lip liner on my top lip on the sides of my bottom lip, and then I'm gonna get my brown lip liner that's my like holy grail, and I'm gonna put it everywhere else. Also, another thing I'd like to say is just so you guys know, my podcast channel is not going to be like me sitting down and getting ready with me. It's not going to be like these types of videos. It's going to be a little bit more structured. Like, I'm going to have a topic that I actually stick to, and I'm not going to be doing my makeup. Like, I'm just going to exclusively be yapping to you guys, and I might even have like my friends on at some point, maybe my boyfriend, because my friend Kenzie and I actually talked to her about maybe doing a podcast episode together because her and I have very good conversation, and I think it would be really entertaining and interesting, and we both have like different takes on some things, and I feel like it would be cool to hear different perspectives, but we don't like yell at each other. I also think it does everyone good to hear conversations that are constructive but also productive and like actually helpful and are talking instead of arguing and fighting. I feel like a lot of times people hear people disagree and assume that it ends in an argument or fight, but when her and I disagree, it just ends in us telling about each other about our different opinions, whether or not they are the same, and like we're not mad at each other for it. But I just think it would be a lot of fun to film that with her, especially because she's like my best friend. Also, you guys, the last thing I want to chat about is my birthday. My 21st birthday is coming up. I feel so weird saying that because everyone online always thinks I'm older than I am, but everyone in person always thinks I'm younger than I am. Despite the fact that I have tattoos, I've had my coworkers ask me what high school I go to, which I'm not like far off, you know, like I'm only like 3 years out of high school, but still it surprises me when people ask me what high school I go to, just because I feel like, you think I'm in high school? Like I just don't think I look like I am. But then in person, people always think I look younger. People think I look like 18, but then like I just said online, people are like, girl, you have like so much wisdom. I thought you were like in your 30s. And I'm like, don't say that to me. Like, don't call me old. But I don't know. I feel like my personality isn't necessarily captured by the camera, so that could also be why. But yeah, so my birthday, like I just said, I'm turning 21 and I want to go to the club on my birthday. And initially, like the past like 6 months, I've been saying all these things about, oh, I want to have like a mermaid themed birthday. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to have a crazy cake. So my cake lady has ghosted me pretty much and like not talked to me. So I'm not having a pretty mermaid themed cake. And I'm in my like rock star era. So I'm like, okay, I might be going to like a more country club. Like, it's called the Roxy, if you guys know, and it's in Vancouver, and I might be going to that. And I don't usually go to the Roxy, but I really want to go play pool. I really like playing pool, surprisingly. I know that's a very random thing for me to love, but it's so much fun. And I might just go play pool in like a raunchy t-shirt, some short jean shorts, and some boots, and just have some fun. But this whole time I've been like, no, I'm gonna have like a birthday Mamma Mia-esque mermaid party. And it's like, well, that's just not, I just think that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna like go to the beach, I wanna get a good like suntan, and then I wanna go to the club. Anyway, you guys, that's pretty much all I had to say today. I am feeling really, really tired right now because of the coffee, which is kind of annoying. I thought I would be more energized than this. And I'm also feeling like I need to pee and not speak for a little bit. I'm feeling like I need to read or something. I love you all. Don't forget to go subscribe to my new channel, okay? To my second channel, like I said, in the description, and give me some topic ideas in the comments, you guys. I'd love to hear what you guys want to hear from me, even though I already have a few videos in the works, just as kind of like backup ideas. But I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna try and get like a few videos scheduled so that I don't have to worry about that during my birthday weekend. But I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.